All right, so this is for 2, part 2 or 3, I'm not sure. It's part something, doesn't matter. All right, so up here it says write a linear function with the given values. And the reason why I had to break this up into 2 days, Chucky, is because they look different, right? Up here I gave you 2 points, and remember we followed the steps twice. We labeled, wrote the equation, we substituted, and then solved. But here, it doesn't look like that. So how do I go about doing these problems? Well, the first thing is this. It kind of labels it for me. Notice it says f of x. See how x is in the parentheses? Kimmy, do you see that? That means the number that's in the parentheses is my x value. So if I'm trying to convert f of 0 equals 10 to a point, it's simply the point 0, 10. And how would I convert the expression f of x or f of 6 equals 34? Well, that would be 6, 34. And then we're right back to where we were on Thursday. So everybody go ahead and write the 2 points. Okay, and I'm going to write them right here. All right, and step number 1 is what, Louis? Yeah, label. So I have 2 points I need to label: x1, y1, x2, y2. Tyler, what's step number 2? Write my equation. But I need to find the slope, right? Do you happen to remember what my slope equation is? M equals, it's not y equals mx plus b. It's m equals, you want to help out? Y, or m equals y2 plus minus y1 over x minus x. So we're going to go ahead and write that. So we're going to write m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Yeah, I'm trying to give him an opportunity. No, I mean, he's already done that, but I'm trying to give him an opportunity to like actually sit there and learn. But I mean, I give it like another 15 minutes. Okay. Hello? Yeah. Let me get through this and let me get them. Yeah. All right. Bye. All right. So here we're now going to do what, Chucky? What's step number 3? Substitute. So y2 is 34. Y1 is 10. X2 is 6. And x1 is 0. So 34 minus 10, it's 24. 6 minus 0 is 6. So when I go to solve this out, step number 4, I get m equals 4. Annie, what do I do now? I start back at the beginning. So now that I have m, I'm going to take that. And which point do you like more? 0, 10 or 6, 34? Do you say 0, 10? Yep. Love 0 to 10. It's got a 0 in it. Everybody loves a good 0. Now, step number 1. Maddie, step number 1 is label. So now that I have just 1 point, I'm just going to label X, Y. Tyler, step number 2. What is my equation? I'm going to write y equals mx plus b. Joey. Joey.
Yeah.
What is step number 3?
Isn't it substitute them in?
It is substitute. So I have y is 10, m is 4, x is 0, plus b. Jules, what is step number 4?
Solve.
It is solved. Now anything times 0 is 0. So I have 10 equals b. And now I write the equation with m and b. So y equals 4x plus 10. We okay? All right. All right, let's look at B. We have 2 more questions. B and C, I believe, and then some more problems. All right, write a linear function given f of 0 equals 9 and f of 8 equals 7. So f of 0 is 9. We're going to write that as 0, 9. And f of 8 equals 7 is 8, 7. Chucky, step number 1. Label. So I have 2 points, so I need to label it x1, y1, x2, y2. Ellie, step number 2.
Write equation.
Now the equation I need to write is my slope equation. Mike here today? Mike, what's step number 3?
I don't know.
Mike?
I don't know.
Step number 3, Louis. Step number 3, substitute. So y2 is 7, y1 is 9, so I have 7 minus 9 over 8 minus 0. 7 minus 9 is -2. 8 minus 0 is 8. So m equals -1/4. Now, Annie, once I'm done, I need to restart it. And go back through the steps. So I have m. And Annie, which point do you like better? 0, 9 or 8, 7? 0, 9, because there's a 0. Step number 1. Grace. Step number 1. Okay. Eva, step number 1. All right. Cody? Cody? All right, step number 1 is label. Step number 2, John. What was that? Yeah, right, y equals mx plus b, nice job. Step number 3, Louis. So I have y is 9, m is -1/4, x is 0, and b. Louis, what is anything times 0? 0. So I have 9 equals b. So my answer is y equals -1/4 x plus 9. All right, I want you guys to try question C on your own. Try it. I'm going to leave up A or B. You guys try that one on your own. All right, let's get started. So here, we want to just rewrite our points from the format they're in to 3, 8, and 0, -4. Step number 1, label. Step number 2, write my equation. The equation I want to use is my slope equation. Whenever you have 2 points, you want to use your slope equation. Step number 3, substitute. So I have -4 minus 8 over 0 minus 3. -4 minus 8 is -12. 0 minus 3 is -3. So that's equal to 4. So I have my slope. My slope is 4. The point I'm going to choose this time, Annie, the point I'm going to choose this time is still the one with the 0 in it, because that makes my life easier. I like smaller numbers and more positive numbers. So that's why I wouldn't take 3, 8, because I would take 0, -4, because it's smaller and I have a 0. And then I repeat my steps. I label. I write my equation, which is y equals mx plus b. I substitute, so -4 equals 4 times 0 plus b. And then I solve, which is -4. 4 times 0 equals 0 plus b, that's just b. So I have m, I have b. I write my equation, which is y equals 4x minus 4. Any questions? All right, so your quiz is going to be on pretty much, you okay? It's going to be on 3 things. First part of your quiz is going to be where I give you m and b and I ask you to write the equation of a line. All you'll do is plug in m and b into y equals mx plus b. Variation number 2, I give you a point and a slope. That's when you roll through, you label it, you write y equals mx plus b, you substitute and solve. Okay? Variation number 3 is like this stuff. I give you 2 points and I ask you to write the equation of a line. So you label, you write your slope formula, you substitute and solve. So this is like the hardest question, like on the quiz. Okay? Remember, it's open note, so you can refer back to this stuff. All right? Now, a linear model. So a linear model is this: a mathematical equation that models a real life scenario. Okay? Now, what could that scenario be? It could be your bank account. I could give you an equation that would allow me to predict what your bank account will be after so many months or years or whatever. Okay? It could be like, hey, I could give a equation that would allow me to kind of predict Tyler's free throw shooting percentages. Okay? All right. Are you more like Shaq or are you more like Kobe?
You're Shaq.
Tyler, Tyler, where are you? So on a scale of Shaq to Kobe, you're like Scottie Pippen? Okay. All right, so so we can use math to predict or to kind of represent a scenario that's going on. Okay, so let's go to the next page. All right. Now, one of the things I did when I was applying for a job here was actually in this room, which is funny, is I used the gas prices from like the 1970s to predict the gas price in like 2007, 2008. Okay, so you can take like numbers and you can allow them to kind of like drive an equation and give you a scenario in which you can predict what's going to happen. So up here, excluding hydropower, the US power plants used renewable energy sources, hey, Mr. Kitchen, to generate 105 million megawatts hours of electricity in 2007. By 2012, the amount of electricity generated had increased to 219 million megawatt hours. Write a linear model that represents the number of megawatt hours generated by non-hydropower renewable energy sources as a function of the number of years since 2007. Use the model to predict the number of megawatt hours that will be generated in 2017. Couple things. One, where's the closest power plant to here? No clue? Nobody? Anybody like shopping? Limerick. Bingo. Limerick is the closest one, and isn't Limerick nuclear? Limerick is nuclear. So Limerick is nuclear. Okay, that is not renewable. Okay. So who can tell me an example of renewable energy? That's excluding hydro, but yes, like hydro, because we're not wasting anything. We're using either the momentum of the ocean to spin a turbine. Okay, solar. So glad you mentioned solar. I happen to know a little bit about solar.
Oh, do you?
I do. I actually have solar panels on my house, Louis. And for a fact, I know that in the state of Pennsylvania, they have a law that states that so many of their megawatt hours that the state produces has to be in renewable energy. And do you want to know what the state does? The state has to prove this to the government. So because I have my own solar panels, the state pays me, okay, extra money to create my own solar.
You get that
'Cause-
correct?
Yes. So the way it works is this. I get a certificate. I get this thing called SREC. It stands for Solar Renewable Energy Credit. And an SREC is basically like a certificate that says, I produce this amount of energy. Okay. And it's mine. I created it. But the state needs it because they have to show that they created it. So what they do is they say, let me buy it from you. So they buy it from me. And I make extra money. Now, Louis, calm down. Now, here's the thing. Pennsylvania is not quite up to par yet with other states, but Washington, D.C., you guys familiar with that? Do you know how much one SREC goes for? Now, my house created 20 in the past, like 2 years. It creates about 10 a year, okay? Do you know how much one SREC goes for in D.C.? Are you going to be able to like
I don't know.
become
Okay.
$400 for one? Yep. Louis, calm down. So they will pay you like about $400 for it. Now, in the state of Pennsylvania, do you know how much they pay me? $20. They pay me $20 for my SREC. Now, obviously, it's going to go up from there, but that's 20 times 10. That's $200 that I didn't have at the start of this. Okay. So, moving on with this, we need to figure out this equation because this actually matters to me. So I have a bunch of numbers here, okay? And it says years since 2007. So Chucky, 2007 is the what? Give me a word for it. Starts with an S. And when you like bite into a lemon, it's considered to be, yeah, another word. Starts with T. Sweet. Okay. It's like, come on, we're playing a game here. Okay. It's a piece of candy. Chucky, we're playing a game here. Okay. Lemons. lines, okay? Sour, okay? Candy, sweet. The other back half of that. Hard, okay? So it starts with S, rhymes with tart. Come on, Chucky. Starts with S, rhymes with tart. What is it, Chucky?
I don't know.
Starts with S, rhymes with tart.
Start.
Start. So 2007, Chucky, is the start. Now, what number is equated with start, Chucky? What number is equated with the start of something? Do you want to play the game again?
No.
Okay. What number?
0.
0. So in 2007, this is going to correspond to 0. In 2007, I generated 105 megawatt hours. Now, 2012, Chucky, how many years since 2007 is 2012? 5.
Now you want to be smart. Yeah.
And that corresponds to 219 megawatt hours. So if I need to come up with the equation of a line, first thing I'm going to do is always what, Louis? First thing,
Oh, like,
label. Then what, Louis?
write your equation.
So I'm going to write y equals m2 or m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And I'm going to do 219 minus 105 over 5 minus 0. 219 minus 105 is 114. 5 minus 0 is 5. Now, Louis, you can take out your phone for this because I need it. What is 114 divided by 5? Yep.
22.8.
So what this tells me is that each year, the electricity generated by renewable energy sources is going up by 22.8 megawatt hours. So I'm going to take that, m equals 22.8, and I'm going to take my 0.0105, and I'm going to label it. Then I'm going to write my equation. Now I'm going to substitute. Hey, I noticed 0 times 22.8 is going to be 0, so I have 105 equals B. So my answer is y equals 22.8 x plus 105. Louis, did you get that?
Yes, sure.
All right.